Hey T, how's it
Hey
going?
man, what's going on?
Good, good. Here we go again. Another episode of OPP. But summer is ending.
Dude, I know you can kind of feel it, like everyone's trying to get the last kind of hurrah in here, man.
Yeah. I mean, for us in Canada, we don't start until after Labor Day. I know a lot of our friends are already in it.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
people
they're
that we
going.
know are already halfway through, right? We're seeing their stories or their successes online already.
Yeah, man. No, it's safe to say it's going. Like literally all the planning starting already for the trade shows. So I know that means it's coming, man.
That's right. Yeah. Trade show. We've Diamond went out. Our new level titanium has gone out. Our new level, or sorry, the existing level of platinum, gold, and this week is silver. Yeah, we're still pretty early in the week. Next week, bronze will come out, and then after that'll be our waiting list. Just to let everyone know, vendors are filling up pretty good.
Yeah.
I think comfortably we're probably going to sell out again, and we added a few more spots. But yeah, I mean, we changed kind of the trade show a little bit around, obviously from people's suggestions. But yeah, it should be a good one again. Looking forward
Yeah,
to
it
it.
seems like it, man. Like it's all about, like I'm hearing some of the talks about what people want to do, and it's just kind of elevating and looking for different opportunities and like seeing it kind of grow again. So I'm like, yeah, it's funny again where it all kind of started and where it's at now.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? After fall, get to New Year's, end of January, we can have the big show.
Yeah, I know, man. Something to look forward to, that's for damn sure. And it seems like it's not just us anymore. It's like the entire industry, eh?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Well, talking about trade shows,
Yep.
today we got another legend on. People have probably seen him like lurking around the trade show floor, trying to drum up business.
Yeah.
But we got him down, and let's bring him on right now.
Love it.
Yeah. There we go, Brian. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm a lurker. I'm around the tree.
You're definitely a lurker. Yeah. You definitely are trying to drum up that business.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go. Yeah, we'll put you on the big screen.
And I'm not saying this just because I'm on here, but SPAC for us is the #1 trade show to be at, and it is for many others too. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this year. So
that's
You
awesome,
bet, buddy.
Yep. Your coupon for discount on that trade show will get to you soon. Okay?
oh no, I already paid the bill, so I
yeah, and definitely you were the guy on Monday morning clicking that button just to get that good move.
exactly, because I know I want those spots. So
Yep. Awesome. Well, let's start off. Tell us about that tan that you got there.
Yeah, buddy.
What's that?
Tell us about that tan that you got.
The camera I have in the background?
No, the tan. Your face
the
all
tan.
red.
That's just outside, buddy. What were you doing?
Literally, right before I came here or got on here, I was out on the turf field shooting sports, boys soccer, girls field hockey, and it's warm outside, so it's that kind of season. And like you said, though, we're pretty much photographed all the sports now. Now we're dealing with sports programs and the finishing the items of those that we've already taken. So
nice. Yeah. So I mean, you're a vendor, but also it sounds like you're also like a shooter.
Yes.
And you're kind of doing everything from beginning to end. And maybe let's start talking about your company, 3P Limited.
Well, if we could, can we go backwards, and then it'll kind of make sense to people how I got here, if I could.
Yeah, so, let's start from the beginning.
So I grew up with my family in a place called Altoona, Pennsylvania, and my father was one of 7 owners of a large printing company called Alto Printing. And so, of course, I would go in to work with him, much like what photographers do with their children. And
that was us, yeah,
we get that.
So I liked it. I wanted to do it, but when I was coming out of high school, he didn't want me to go into the industry because he said it was going to change too much, because it was going to be. And this, of course, is I'm going to date myself. So I graduated high school in 1979. So this was right when digital was starting to come about, and it was first in the printing industry. They had what we call in offset plates, they had image makers.
Yeah.
And that was the first big expensive thing. And their company was going through that. They were investing in that. But, as you know, if you're an early adopter, you're probably paying a lot of money. So you have to get your money out real quick.
Yeah.
And some printing shops, as they moved through to the digital age, were able to do that. Others weren't. And they ended up closing up. So I went to college. I went to Penn State University, and I got a Bachelor of Fine, a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts in photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I minored in video because video cameras at the time were just coming through with chips, chip cameras. And so, the still cameras weren't there, but the chip cameras were, and in video. So that gave me a bit of training in how those capturing devices, those chips worked, and how they would create artifacts. The early ones would do that. And so that helped me later on, because then I went to work right out of college. About 2 years, I was a manager of a camera store, and up in the State College area, and called the Film Center. And I did that for 2 more years, and then I got a job with the Pennsylvania State Senate. At the Pennsylvania State Senate, I got to photograph a lot of VIPs, like presidents and people like that, like the Bushes, both of them, Clinton. When they would come to the Capitol building or visit, I would do work on the side too, because I started my studio. That was my weekend occupation, but I also did political work. And then,
who was your favorite person that you met through there? That you photographed?
George W. Bush. He was really a great guy. He still is. He's a good guy, and very personable, very approachable. Just we're able to get the job done. And Colin Powell was another one that was a really good, not a president, of course, but a political figure that was someone who I very much respected. So
nice,
cool.
But what happened though is really cool, because in 1996 they decided, the Senate of Pennsylvania decided they wanted to put digital imaging in. So I pulled from my archives. I got it right here.
Look at that thing.
Look at this. I want you to see this.
Wow.
So this is Associated Press.
Whoa.
Kodak body, Nikon body. I'm sorry, Kodak inside, because they were ones, and correct me if I'm wrong, they were the first ones that had the chip. They actually developed that.
Yeah, and I think licensed it to Nikon.
Associated Press put the electronics in. But I want to show you this. Guess what's not there? no finder.
Wow.
Yeah, you're shooting this like slide film. You've got to be really careful. And I think it was a whopping 1.2 megabyte file. And,
wow.
And then it went on this. Watch this. So this is rotating discs that were in this.
What?
Yeah. And you could not drop these. If you dropped these, you scrambled the images. And so there were rotating platters in there with a needle, just like you would have in a type of hard drive.
Yeah.
And this was portable. So they always were. You couldn't jostle this camera around, because it would literally it would jam or scramble the images. So
wild.
Yeah,
man. If you use that today for your sports, that would have shielded you from the sun. You would have had no tan.
So venture a guess on how much this was.
60 grand.
No, not that. It was 20.
It was 24.
Yeah. That's what that was. That's incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
And if you look on the back, I left. Of course, we stopped using these, and I retired from there 17 years later. I went to work there in '86, and then I retired after 17 years. But I left the tag on here. And it has the serial number. You can't read it, but maybe right about there. But it was early number. Let's say that it was early. We couldn't get these at first because the Associated Press had first dibs on them, and then we ended up getting one in '96. It was like February or March or something like that, and then we started using these. But it was a cantankerous thing to operate. But they allowed me to get the first experience in digital imaging, and then move through the progressions of newer cameras like Nikon D1s and things like that. That then I was able to really develop the skill set to work with digital imaging, because it was definitely different than film. And film is what I learned in college. In fact, that's a Hasselblad camera back there that I had in college. That's the only one I kept. I kept the one that I had in college. I sold all my other film cameras, later on. Yeah. But then come forward to this place right now. I retired from there and went full time into our business here. And of course, we were in the heyday of senior portraits, and our studio didn't really do contract work other than agreements to do senior pictures a certain way and supply the school with images. That was the extent of it. No underclass work or anything like that. And of course, that changed, and because that business kind of drifted off, and so we adjusted and went into sports business. And then lo and behold, because of getting back into sports, I started to see the need of publishing as far as sports programs. And so that's when we got our first digital press and started doing that in the early 90s. And then progressed to doing work for other friends, because I have a lot of friends in the industry to this day who are doing large amounts of underclass. The Haynes, Focus on Forever, and Colleen and Company. They all do a large number of underclass, and they originally, pretty much most of them were all senior portrait kind of businesses. And they've then adjusted into doing, your underclass work and volume work at schools. And I've moved along that way too, because now we're a large yearbook publisher. We're not so small anymore, but we are, in the community, and we enjoy what we do. So that's my history. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So one thing you said, your dad didn't tell you to go into the industry.
Yeah,
there's not be a lot of changes. So should you have followed his advice or not?
I will say, before he passed, he did see my first generation press, and he looked at me, and he looked at the output, and he looked at me and said, "Man, what we could have done with this." And he said, "I understand why you got it back into this. Why you got into this now." And of course, again, remember that example I said about, early adopters pay more and it's harder to get the money out. Well, my accountant often said to me in the first 5-6 years, "Oh, you're paying a lot for these presses, and I don't see much profit coming out of them. I mean, you're just basically treading water." And I'm like, "Just hold on." And then the realization finally hit after or prior to COVID, and then during COVID. And then he looked at me and said, "You're really smart for doing that." So I was like, "Yes, finally got approval."
Vindication, man. That's so sweet that Big Foster saw you as like pretty omniscient then. That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, and that's cool that he got to see it, right? And kind of got to see your vision there.
I was really happy that he was able to see that, because then he kind of knew what I was doing. And of course, I would bring work home to him when I would visit Altoona, and show him some of the work that we were doing. And he was really impressed with it. It's amazing. I mean, when people come from offset plate to a device that you can literally send a PDF to, that's color corrected or color managed through, and have a quality of print or color output of from the device. It is amazing to those people who cut their teeth and did that for many years, because it was an art form to be a printer. I mean, you know, especially if you were only using like a 2-color press, you had to then run it through, wait till the ink dried, and then match it up and get your screen right on the image. It's quite an ordeal.
Yeah.
I didn't think I don't think I would have got into it then. I wouldn't have. No way.
It was like old school t-shirt screening, right? Where you did like one color at a time. Yeah, if that stuff didn't line up, you're dead.
Yeah, it's all your light colors first, you know.
Wow.
You know, yellow goes down first, and cyan, magenta, and black. You know? So yeah, it's the same concept.
Yeah, yeah. Crazy.
Mhm.
So you obviously have a front end, a photography business, and then you have a lab side, and you talked about yearbooks for a little bit. Like, what kind of machinery do you run?
Currently, we're running Ricoh's 9500.
Okay.
So they're a big production machine, and we also still have a Xerox Versant that we're still utilizing in production for some cover work and things like that. Probably soon, you know, as the leases turn, we'll probably, you know, go to a Ricoh is the plan to replace that Xerox. The Ricoh, I checked out quite a bit before you make that kind of investment. You really go to trade shows and you look at them and you talk to people who have them. So consequently, I have associates that do work for us when we're in busy season. And my one associate has 3 of these presses in his facility. I have one 9500 plus the Versant. So we have 4 presses that we're able to go after this work in a very aggressive way, because they're like 60 pages a minute.
Crazy,
so
yeah.
12 by 18. Now that's one-sided. Duplex would be half of that, 30 pages a minute. So,
and your accountant's allowing you to buy it?
yeah. There's no argument at this point.
I'm doing it rather if you say it or not. Yeah. So tell us, like, maybe not your first SPAC trade show, but your first trade show that you went to, like in our industry, maybe PMA or PSPA.
Senior Photographers International. Was it SPI or
SPI?
I wanted to look that up. It was down in St. Pete's Beach, is where it was, and lived for many years. And Senior International, I want to say.
Okay. Yep.
You know, I may have that name wrong because, you know, they've gone away now for quite a while. But what replaced that was, you know, another trade show called Sync. They replaced that.
That's right. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And those guys are still around. But did you ever go to like PMA or PSPA after?
Yeah. So the natural progression was to go to PPA after I had joined and become a member, and went through what was essentially a trade show that was designed around senior photography. And then I went to, you know, PPA America, and that's where, you know, you really saw a lot of different pieces of equipment, all kinds of software, everything that was going on in the digital imaging as it was progressing. So yeah.
Any cool or funny stories from there?
Got to meet a lot of people who were really important in our you know, business, as far as teachings and advice, and you know, like that's where I met Bob Winkler when we wanted to get into yearbooks and everything. Software was the thing that was the part of the thing that was holding it back, and he was involved in a software company called Pelican.
Yeah,
which is really
back
good.
in the day. Yeah.
And that's where I dipped my toes in, and then went on to Lumapix and Photo Fusion yearbook, and then moved into Captura is Prime, Memento, Pixami. I mean, you know, you can go on and on, all the names of the different softwares now that are available to people like us who broker that software out to photographers so they can, you know, print their yearbooks.
Yeah. Wow. You've been on everything.
I wouldn't say everything, but
well, okay. All but 2.
yeah, all but 2.
Yeah. And talk about Bob Winkler. That guy doesn't need anybody else stroking his ego. Like everybody always, no one has anything bad to say about him.
No, he's been in the business for a long time, and he's a sounding board. And I'm fortunate to be involved with him to this day. And, he no longer is, with Captura. He has his own business. He's a contractor, if you will. And that contract has run out, and he's doing some other things, and we're involved with him in that. We hope to be introducing that at this coming SPAC this year. So
awesome.
Can't say anything more about it, but it'll
hey, tell us some more here. Tell us some more.
Fruition. It'll be on SPAC Chat probably before the show. So
there you go. And you got to come to SPAC to see it, right? So we'll sell some more.
To come to SPAC to see it. SPAC is, if you're doing any type of volume work, and even if you're not, and you're doing boutique studio stuff, you still need to know how to do, volume work because volume equates into profits, in my opinion. And it's a skill set that you should have as a photographer. You should have that. At least the ability to do it. If you don't want to do it all the time, I get it. That's great. And you still want to do your family portraits and all that there's a need for it. But you should have the abilities to do volume in the correct way.
That's such a good way to put it, instead of like there just used to be such a shitting on of doing volume, but it's a pretty clear definition. It's a skill set you need to have as a photographer.
One of the things that's very unique in my situation is, we produce a lot of prepay envelopes, and I know that's not such a popular thing, but I will tell you that's coming back again. And I get to see everybody's price levels as they move through. I get to look at it and see it. And I don't share it with my clients or anything, but I do see a trend going on. And essentially the trend is a hybrid type of thing where they either print a flyer out with a link on it, a QR code, and we print those too, just sheets of paper, if you will. And we do that at volume pricing. But then also too, the prepay envelope. We get our blank stock from McKay Mitchell, and we then custom print it for them, their own design, their own anything they want on it. And what they do is I see a discount. So if they prepay the client, if they prepay it, they get like a 10 or 20% discount. If they wait to see the image after the fact, then it's a higher price. And that makes sense to me because your credit cards and your mainly your online fees, they cost you money. So that's the way it should be. Actually, it makes sense. So we've seen that in the industry, and it was really low like a year or two ago. But then after COVID, it seemed to be taking a tick up, and we're printing a lot of envelopes.
Really? That's good to hear.
We're at the 200,000 mark just for this spring.
Wow.
And that's a lot of envelopes for clients. And they're utilizing those as marketing pieces, obviously to showcase because the printing is good on them. And then also using it to collect money or to drive them to their website, their online store.
Do you think that people are coming back into envelopes because of copying the proof image?
I think that might be part of it, and that's I think attractive to people because that's becoming, obviously with AI and everything, that's becoming a real issue. But I see it. I see it in some areas and some not in some areas. When I say areas, I mean, let me clarify that. I didn't say that very well. I mean, some places in the country, I see that trend going back to a flyer or a prepay envelope for marketing and or a pre-buy discount. I see that happening. In other areas, other parts of the world, I do not see that happening. So down south in that, they seem all set into the online proofing and purchasing, more so than up in the northern tier, East Coast, out west. But we have photographers in California that are ordering envelopes from us. So it's a mix mash. of what I think everybody, I don't think there was a Larry Peters used to be at a trade show. He would
Yep.
say, when you get up on stage here, you should listen to where they come from. Know where this photographer comes from. How many portraits do they shoot a year? Do they do volume? How many? All that. Before you take and adopt something just from a trade show, you got to do what works for you. That's my advice to my clients. You have to do what works for you. So what works for someone else over here may not work for you. So you have to find that sweet spot for your marketing, for what your services are and what you're doing. And I think that's I think that's an important message, because sometimes people go to a trade show and they say, no, it has to be done this way. This is the only way. This is the right way and the only way. And of course, that's not the case. There's 10 ways of doing everything. And what one's right for you, what makes sense, financially and time and so on. That's what makes sense. That's what the balance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I listened to the guys at Colleen and Co., I would just be golfing every day. But I can't take their advice.
Because now they're one of our partners. They're an associate of mine. So we actually go in and take care of all their yearbooks for schools that want to utilize us. So it's been a good partnership. We've known each other. We met each other back in the senior portrait days of going to those conventions that were just for that. And so that friendship and that professionalism, because we were professional, we weren't like catty or anything. Hey, I really like what you did there. Sometimes we would even call them up and say, hey, are you stamping your logo on the print? Because, we're getting complaints from people. They don't like it. Back in the days when we had a gold stamper and we put the stamp in the bottom. So, then we went to blind stamping and then we just did away with it. We didn't do it at all. But now we're back to that kind of thing now, where putting watermarks on your images online is important, because people can take it and just do what way they want with it. So
we're seeing a lot of that online right now.
Yeah. So,
tell us about your first SPAC.
First SPAC. Oh my, that was. So I was, Fuji was involved with SPAC, and Fuji also owns Xerox. People don't really know that, but they do, because they actually make the machines. Fuji does. And Brian Tusamita saw me at a show and knew that what I was doing with the digital press, and I was printing sports programs. So he took me and paid me to come and speak at SPAC, and that was when you were out in California. It was at a resort, and that's where I met Bob Winkler first.
Oh, the Bahia.
Bahia, that's it.
Oh, how could you forget that name? That place was so awesome.
San Diego, right?
Yeah. The sweet Bahia on the bay.
From that point on, I was at SPAC all the time. And then when it was in Vegas, it was the hotel's been torn down now. What was
Riviera.
it? Riviera. Yeah, down in the heart of. Oh boy, it was fun down in that area.
TJ and I always say, like, the amount of fun at the Riviera. Oh man.
Who's the guy that used to perform there? Like Liberace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Liberace did, man.
Brian, tell us you went to a Liberace concert.
I did not. I've done Rodney Dangerfield in my day. He was, wow. He was. What you saw on TV was really tame.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely look like a Liberace fan. Yeah. Bounced around, right? It was in Vegas for like a long time. Then it went to the Bahia. Then it went to Palm Springs for a couple of years, right? Yeah. It was there, and then back to Riviera. I
never did the Palm Spring one.
It was only 2 years.
Okay,
it was just 2 years that we did it there. It was very, very short. I remember the Bahia. I mean, Gary Krantz would drive down and he parked his Ferrari in the handicap spot. Because he had a handicap pass, so it was legit. But guys would walk in the show and be like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
He does all like public schools in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my memory of the Bahia was I mean, back in the day, TJ and I would have to share a room with our dad. Like
Mhm.
I'm glad we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
We our accountant said it's okay now. We can actually get our own room.
Finally.
And our dad like would snore so loud, like you like obviously you'd be out like hanging out with people, you get to the room late, and like I slept in the car one night. I was just like, forget this shit. Like it just cannot.
There was a photographer. He's still around. He still does some work. His name's Kirk Vauclain, and he's from down in Houma, Louisiana. And he would speak at PPA. He would speak, and he said, "Hey, in his Alabama accent, which I won't try to do, but it was really funny. He said, you got to decide what kind of photographer you want to be. If you want to do the volume work and do that, that's fine. Because you know what? These guys, they come into the convention shows and they're wearing their Rolex watches and they flew in on their private plane. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But, you can do your portrait work and your senior photography, and that's fine too."
Yeah.
Yeah, he would make a point of speaking about that in some of his conferences, and it was funny the way he explained it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like TJ was saying, like when we used to go to like other trade shows like PMA and DIMA, and all those like other ones that were like kind of like outside of our industry.
Right.
Like, the amount of people have been like, "Oh, you're in volume." Like remember T, like how many times people would shit on us, be like, "Oh, that's like that's like the worst one." Like, yeah.
It's,
yeah.
There's no art to it. Yeah.
Just used to shit on us all the time, and like would have to almost pretend that we weren't part of it. But now look how it's like kind of come around.
Yeah.
The one show that I go to that's kind of outside the photography industry, but not, is Print United, and that's where labs go to see printers, laser presses.
Yep.
And it's always interesting to see all of the people there. A lot of them are, from our industry, because they're labs that are utilizing those types of electronics and
technology. Yeah.
To print. Yeah. And it's only getting better. I mean, you're talking about 6-7 color presses now, digital presses that have quite the gamut range. And so it's getting very, very good. Let's say that. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, we definitely back in the day too would go to other conferences just to see other ideas, right? Like 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 we haven't done weddings, but we used to go to WPPI, right? There's a lot of stuff that you can transfer over.
Yeah,
Print United, the print show, like like a lot of those.
My wife was a meeting planner. She did it for an organization in the state called Community Bankers of Pennsylvania. So it was all financial institutions and that, but they would run their shows, and that's where she got her knowledge in meeting planning. And she's a writer by trade. She's an English major in college, and she ended up. We met in the state senate, and she worked in the communications office, and she was a speechwriter. So anytime I have to do any public speaking or anything like that, here you go, Renee. So I try to keep it out of the AI realm, but it's a very interesting industry, and I respect what you guys do at SPAC, because it's not your full-time job.
No.
Although sometimes I'm sure it feels like it.
yeah, definitely.
But the show does very well, and I'm very pleased with the clientele you bring. Then I can meet, and so that works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely volunteer work, but like both you guys on the call, you guys help out a lot too, right? Like even though you're not like directly associated with it,
right?
A lot of people that like, hey, I need help with this, no problem, or hey, can you do a presentation on this, or what do you think of this idea? So we have a lot of people around us, just like us, that donate their time.
Yes.
And it takes a community to get this thing going. So it's not just us. Like we have a lot of support around us, and
people don't understand how much money you have to put up as an organization to reserve your room block and everything.
Yeah.
So,
that
it gets a little scary. I mean,
Yep. Yeah, back in the day, a few photographers would help fund it.
Yeah,
Like throw the money in, and then we'd repay them back after the show started with
right.
attendance fees, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's exactly, and that's where the show was financed and came from. Yeah, I know.
exactly. Yeah. Talking about meeting your wife, did you say like, hey, check out the size of my camera?
I, I don't know. We started hanging out as in a friend group, and then the friend group got smaller and smaller. Then it was just the two of us. So then, yeah, and then she liked the way she lived in an adjacent community. So I would live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is where the state capital is located, and then I would drive home to Altoona to see my parents or whatever on the weekend. And she lived in a community that was adjacent to it. Her parents did in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. So she rode with me, and so the way I drove a stick shift car was very attractive to her.
So you had more than one skill.
Right.
Yeah, you were probably kicking all the people out of that friend group just to narrow it down just to her, right? Like Survivor.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had a lot of fun, and she left there before I did at the state senate, and she went to work for the association because she was kind of recruited by them, and it turned into a good career choice. It was a lot of work, though. I mean, I know what they take. People don't understand it, what it takes just to get your stuff to a convention is quite an ordeal. So I've learned that over the years as far as, us packing things up. And now I'm down to, I like easing. And now it's a big U-line crate, all four sides, because I was getting stuff damaged and everything. And I've gone to the crate. You have to unbolt it and everything when you get it there. But if you notice the people who are setting up that have been doing this for years, that's what they do. And so I'm like looking around like, why am I doing it this way? That's the way we do it. And I think you guys, you have storage units, I think, where you keep stuff.
We just keep it there in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
We decided years ago, let's just get a storage unit, leave everything there.
Yeah.
Any stuff we need to get, like pouches or whatever for that year, we'll just ship it in. And then whatever's left over, we'll put over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. Yeah. T, remember like a couple of years ago, Captura decided to put together like a new booth, and they didn't even try it out. They just shipped it all there.
Yes.
And then you were in charge of like trying to put it together, and you guys like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
We were there to help, and like tons of engineers that are just like incredible, but oh man, like being on the vendor side and like trying to rebuild something from scratch and learning it on the go. Like, no, worst. No more of that.
H&H has always been a good friend of ours. They've been a photo lab that we utilized when we were primarily photography, and they had good digital output. And they knew how to run the Frontier machines and everything. And we've actually kept that friendship to this day. And I was fortunate enough, if you remember, like a year ago, I think right around this time, actually, they had an issue with ransomware. Yeah. And so I just texted, I have Dave Drum's number, and I texted him and I said, hey, listen, whatever we can do for you, we print a lot of prepay envelopes, just let me know. Well, sure enough, we ended up doing that for a month for them. And I'm like, would you please get back up and in business? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the amount of envelopes we printed for them, and we were happy to do it.
Of course. Yeah.
It was one of those friendships. And the only reason I brought it up was because, we help each other out.
Yeah.
As professionals in the industry, you should. I truly believe in that, because when you help someone out, it comes back to you tenfold.
Totally.
And, I think, and plus it makes you feel good. And it was a good experience. It was a bad experience for them, but it was a good experience that we were able to help them out. So we were very. That's when I finally realized that, wow, okay, we we've come of age. We're not such a small thing anymore. So we were very happy with that. So.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, man. Yeah, that's cool to see.
I mean, that's cool about the industry too. And a lot of like outsiders, when they come in, they're like, what? Like, you talk about what you're doing, your competitors can hear about it. Oh, you help out these guys. Like, what are you going to benefit from it? Well, you're volunteering your time. Like, why would you present? How much are you getting paid for it? Like nothing. Right. Like it's a super unique industry.
It's a mindset that you have to have. I was brought up that way. That's the way my dad handled his business. They would step in and help another printing company if they needed something done, and they just did it on the quiet. And that's what we do. I have friendships in my area with other printing facilities, and I do stuff for them, and they do things for me because I don't necessarily want a specific type of printer because, I don't do much of that work, but, when I have it, it goes to them. We all help each other out. And so it all works well. And it just so happens their slow period is in April and May. They're not slow anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. No, and you're second generation as well, right? Like you grew up in the business, and we see a lot of that. Like obviously us as well. Like it's one of those businesses that you grow up in, and then like you just continue to do it.
I always like to see you guys out at the shows and everything. I know your backgrounds and everything just from being a part of the show, but it's very interesting and it's very diverse. It's unique. So I know TJ, he's the software guy. Am I right?
Yeah.
And he's done some pretty incredible things.
Yeah, definitely.
Just learning from you boys, man.
I mean, we have a lot of people to look up to, a lot of mentors, a lot of people that can help us. We always say if we can't figure it out, I'm pretty sure we know someone who knows what to do. So.
Exactly, and that's the thing, and that's what's nice about having friends in the industry, because you're right. You don't know how to do everything, but you figure it out through your friendships, and you know who to go to.
Exactly. So now going back to my first question, 3P Limited. So now we've heard the whole story. Like, what's up with 3P Limited?
So 3P Limited, we have two businesses. We still have our photography side. We're kind of winding that down a little bit because we have associates like Colleen and Company, and they take care of all the shooting and everything. But what we're really concentrating on now is our printing side of the business, which is digital printing of yearbooks and binding and all those facets that are needed in that industry. So we have some really fast binders that are able to do a square back stitch, and we have perfect binding, and of course we have our capabilities in hardcover too. And there's the quality of the sheets, buying bulk and paper, all that makes for a more competitive pricing and a good product. That's the thing. I like quality because I come from photography. So, I look at something, and if it needs to be color managed, it has to be right on. And I preach that all the time. And that's what we do. Our stuff that we do for photographers, it has to look good, sRGB the whole way through. So we write our profiles specifically for that kind of product. So that makes us a little unique to the bigger commercial printers. And I'm not talking about people who do yearbooks in our industry. I'm talking about commercial printers outside our photography industry.
Definitely.
And they're CMYK. They don't want a file that is sRGB at all. But in our industry where we're servicing photographers, we have to be writing our profiles for that.
Definitely.
So,
And 3P is Picture Perfect Production.
So our original business name, actually a long time ago, when I first moved to the area, I had a part-time business of shooting weddings on the weekends, like many photographers do. And then this gentleman had the name Picture Perfect Productions, and he shot video. So we joined together and did a video. He did the video, I did the photography, and we did joint contracts and just, had our charges in there. And he had the name Picture Perfect Productions. Well, he moved on, became a big salesman for LG TVs, and he went out and sold to dealers their sets. And so he wanted out of it. So I bought the name, bought the equipment, went on and kept on doing video and photo for a while. Once video came to the point of, total new equipment, new everything. And at the time we had 5 video cameras and we had, all that equipment. I looked at it and said, okay, we need to get rid of that part of the business because that's a very time consuming profession. And so we got rid of that and then just did our photography. That was still under Picture Perfect Productions, but then we needed to incorporate. And that name wasn't available in Pennsylvania to incorporate with, and plus it's too long. It's a mouthful. So we went with my wife came up with the idea of 3P Ltd. She always wanted a company that had Ltd at the end of it. So that was available, and so we incorporated, and so that naturally is where we put our printing side of the business. We put that primarily under there, and we do DBA, do business as Picture Perfect, as far as our photography. So that's the way we live. At this point.
I would have that as a banner at SPAC. I think that's awesome. Picture Perfect Production. I think it's really awesome. Right? Yeah. It would definitely bring people into the booth seeing that. Right. Yeah.
But that's where it came from, and when people see it, like Picture Perfect Productions, they're like, oh,
yeah. Well, once he told me, I was like, oh, the whole time I had no clue. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Brian, I mean, we really appreciate you coming on. It was like super cool to hear your story. Some funny stories there, kind of like how you started and where you are right now. And man, it's great to hear about all your successes.
Thank you so much. And I look up to you guys too. I always like to see your family, and it's always a pleasure. They're so nice. They really are.
You're probably just talking about our sister and our mom.
Yeah.
And your dad. But I mean, it's a very enjoyable industry, and that's why sometimes if you notice that people who retire, they still attend the show.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, because they have so much friendships. And
camaraderie's crazy.
It is. Yeah. Actually, when we had the 70th a couple of years ago, I reached out to a bunch of people that retired, and I was like, "Hey, you need to come for this," and a bunch of them showed up. I mean, we would, love to have people that are like out of the industry just come, like kind of on a social aspect.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years ago too, we even had like their company just said retired. So have those guys come in as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, dude, awesome. we know you just got off a shoot too, bud. So you clean up now finally.
Yeah.
Go put some aloe vera on that face.
Man, I'm looking at that. I'm like,
that's not that. That's CMYK, not SRD.
Oh, dude. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I know when you first approached me, you said, what'd you call me? You're a legacy?
Legend.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess I am that old.
Sign of respect.
Yeah.
Totally. So if anybody out there wants to see this legend, he will be at SPAC this year, right?
Yep. We have we're a gold level. So we have a large booth, and look for some interesting announcements. So
there you go. Picture Perfect Production.
Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Brian.
Okay. Later. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.